Hi, friends. It's me, Christiana Gaudet, and I'm coming to you live from the Hunker Bunker, which is my office in Palm City, Florida. A little bit of a different setup today, which means I'm not as able to read your comments. But Deirdre, I see you. Um, I don't know if I can join you, but I will light a candle. That is fabulous. Very good. So, as we're waiting for people to come into the room, let me just share with you what we're going to be doing. Hey, Leisha, so good to see you. If you happen to be watching this in archive on Facebook or on YouTube, go ahead and do this with us. You know, there's going to be some power in having the group assembled, doing it all at the same time. But even if you're doing it after the fact, watching an archive, there's still power there. So if you were not able to join us live, please do join us in doing this. Now, let's explain what we got going on here. This is not particularly an effort to pray the virus away, although that would be nice. Hey, Lori, nice to see you. It is an effort to raise energy in support of the doctors, nurses, medical professionals, and scientists who are working both to treat those who are ill and to find a solution. We are working in support of the whole planet, the physical and financial well-being of people in all nations. I see lots of people coming into the room. I can see Neil, Elizabeth, Tricia, Carol. Thanks so much for being here. Now again, Jan Brewington, so glad you're here. Whether or not, if you're joining us right now, whether or not you have the tools, the candle and the tarot cards, you can still lend your energy. And that's true too if you are watching an archive. You can do these activities with us, and that's really powerful, but you can also simply watch it and lend your prayers and your energies. Hey, Betty is here. You know, this was Betty's idea. Betty gets like all the credit for this. So everyone say thank you to Betty for being here. Jean Mnuchin is here. Hey, Pam Hartley, nice to see you. I have to tell you, these are relatively new glasses, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to see your comments, but I pretty much can. So yay for my eye doctor. TK is here. Amy is here. Amy Mauser. Very good. It's early in the morning for her. So we are very grateful. So if you are going to do the working with us, let me tell you what you will need. And Amy's saying thank you to Betty. Lots of people are saying thank you to Betty. Very good. I'm going to tell you what you will need. Again, please stay with us. If you don't have these particular tools, please stay with us anyway and lend your energy. That's the most important part. The most important part is your ability to breathe and visualize and send your energy. Everything else, these tools are helpful, but not as necessary as your energy. Tasha is here. Joanne Matthews is here. Janet Meredith she made it. Very good. So glad you're all here. Okay, so here's what you need. I've asked you to have a candle. If possible, white or red. White for purity and healing, and red for health and vitality. And if you put those two together, they are the colors that we associate with medicine, red and white, right? Now, if you are using a small candle, the kinds of candles that we associate with magic, ideally you'll be able to let the candle burn all the way down in one sitting. If not, if you're using a jar candle or a very large candle, that's okay. Don't burn your house down. Then you'll have nowhere to shelter in place. That wouldn't be good. So if you cannot let your candle burn all the way down, that's okay. Traditionally, we wouldn't blow it out. We'd use a snuffer or would clap it out or pinch it out and then light it again later with the same intention. Now, if you have a candle but it's not red or white, that's okay too. I couldn't send you all to the stores, so we have to improvise with what we have. And Elizabeth says she has them still lit from the spring equinox. Beautiful, beautiful. So I'm now going to tell you the specific tarot cards we're going to be working with. We will today be casting a formal circle. So that means we're going to be invoking the 4 elements in the beginning and dismissing them at the end. To invoke the 4 elements, we're using the 4 queens. And I chose the queens for nurturance, that part of what we need is nurturance. So at this time, you're going to need your 4 queens and also your 4 kings. We'll be dismissing the circle with the 4 kings. And that is for leadership, something that is desperately needed across the planet. So nurturance to open and leadership to close. So you'll need your 4 kings and your 4 queens. You will need, for invocation, we will also be invoking higher power however we see it. We all come from different traditions, and that's fine. This is not, this is a very low dogma situation here. So I chose the Empress and the Emperor to represent male and female aspects of deity, however you see that. We are going to be repurposing these cards later on. The Emperor for our political leaders, our governors, our prime ministers, our presidents, the people who are really making the decisions. And the Empress we will be repurposing for Mother Earth. And we will also be invoking our ancestors, our loved ones in spirit, our ancestors who guide us, and we will be using the 10 of Pentacles for that. We will also repurpose the 10 of Pentacles later for our homes in which we are sheltering and to protect our families, our finances, and everything within our homes. Okay, so far, 4 queens, 4 kings, Empress, Emperor, and 10 of Pentacles. Okay, let's see. Janet, Janet's using a tea light. That's what's on hand, exactly. Improvisational spiritual work is sometimes the most necessary, the most positive, the most effective. Janet, will you please tell us which cards again? Yes. Queens, all 4 queens, all 4 kings, Emperor, Empress, 10 of Pentacles, and you will also need the World. For obvious reasons. I think that's pretty obvious, right? Because this is a global situation. And so, we are not just focusing. We've got people here from all countries. I see Tasha Lee, she's in the UK. We've got people here from all over. This is for the whole planet. And Jean says, yeah, improvising like crazy. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. You got to be able to do that. Okay, the World. We'll be working with the World. We will also need the Hermit, which probably makes a lot of sense since a lot of us are isolated. But it's also about the wisdom and the patience that is needed, along with the 9 of Pentacles, which is, it is a tip of the hat to the ancestors, but it is also about being comfortable in our isolated space and making sure that we'll be comfortable financially as well. The 2 of Cups. So this is an interesting card for this purpose because very typically we associate the Two of Cups with romance, but it's about every kind of partnership. Right now here in the US, partisan issues, man, we're having a hard time getting a deal that will really help people. And so this is for that, for people being able to work together, but it's also specific protection and help for our medical personnel. You see the caduceus right here, which is the symbol that we use for medicine. So very often we can use this card for the doctor-patient relationship and our ability to work with our medical community and our medical community to work with us. So we will also be using this card for protection for our medical community. Now, you're also going to want temperance. A good key word for temperance is solution. That's what's really going on here. Temperance is creating a solution. And solutions is exactly what we're looking for. And when do we want those solutions? As quickly as possible. The Eight of Wands and the Knight of Swords are the two fastest cards in the deck. So we're going to add these in for speed because we want this to happen quickly. Now, I'll go over the list of cards again quickly as soon as I get through them all. We're almost finished. Now, we are also going to use the Knight of Swords for support for our virtual communities. You know, what business is doing great right now? Zoom, right? Our ability to work online, to meet with each other online, to have cocktail parties online. The Knight of Swords can be about the internet. So we're using that. Hey, Pam, nice to see you. Glad you're here. We've got a couple of Pams here today. And Netflix, right? Exactly. And the Knight of Swords is also a good card for science. And again, science is what we need here. And what is the other card of science? The Six of Swords. Aleister Crowley calls this the card of science. Finally, one other six, and remember that 6 is the number of victory. Victory is what we're looking for here. The Six of Pentacles, that all will get what they need, that all will give as they can, that our economy across the planet will survive this, and that we will all be able to help each other and learn to live together as a community. So those are the cards that we're working with today. You didn't think you were going to get a tarot lesson here today. Well, actually, those of you who know me knew you were going to get a tarot lesson because you can't really talk to me without having that happen. So, 4 kings, 4 queens, emperor, empress, world, hermit, temperance, 10 of pentacles, 9 of pentacles, 6 of pentacles, Knight of Swords, 6 of Swords, 8 of Wands. Those are the cards. Oh, and look at that. Amy's awesome. She's written it down for you right there. Very good. Very good. Okay. So those are the cards. And while you're getting the cards, let's talk about preparing the candle. Now, when I thought about how we were going to do this today, with any kind of energy working, you're always either bringing something in, welcoming something, or banishing something. Those are your two choices, right? To bring in or to banish. Hey, Maya, nice to see you. Right, and Maya adds to Amy's list, as Amy did, the World and the 8 of Wands. Very good. Thank you guys for working with me. This is fabulous, fabulous. Okay, so you're always either bringing something in or sending something away. And those people who work with the moon say that as the moon, hey Maya, glad you're here. As the moon is waxing, as the moon is getting bigger, we do magic to make things bigger. As the moon is getting smaller, as it's waning, that's when you do energy work that would diminish. And, for those of you here who feel a little weird about the term magic, think about manifestation, think about prayer, think about energy work. It's all the same thing. Okay? So since the moon is waxing, what we're going to do here today is to make an energy bigger. If the moon were waning, we would be working on making the virus dissipate. But since the moon is indeed waxing, we have to make something bigger. So what are we going to make bigger? Protection, science, inspiration, ingenuity, our ability to protect, to conquer, to work together, to share. That's what we're going to do. Our ability to heal, our healing energy is what we need to expand. Does that make sense? So, if you're working with a tea light or a jar candle or whatever, that's fine. If you're working with a candle like this, you do have the option, and maybe some of you have already done this, you do have the option of dressing your candle. And I want to talk a little bit about candle dressing. There are a number of ways to do it. I have already dressed my candle. I'll tell you what I did. I'm going to give you a moment, if you haven't, to dress your candle, because I bet some of you have all your stuff already to do that. And if you don't, or if you don't have those things, or if you don't want to, or if you're working with a candle that doesn't seem easy to dress, that's okay. The most important dressing of the candle is energetic, and we will do that in just one moment. So what I did to dress my candle is I took a red toothpick and I inscribed on it. I inscribed on it signs of healing and words that went along with what my intention is here today. Healing, protection, science, solutions, things of that nature. So if you would like to inscribe your candle, you can do so now. Some people are still getting their cards together. That's okay. If you're not inscribing your candle, and if you do have your cards together, you can simply hold your candle and think about, those words. What is the energy here? What energy are you trying to create? What is your prayer? And you can hold your candle, you can hold it to your heart, and put that energy into it. Typically, traditionally, the next step of dressing a candle is to use oil. You can use regular olive oil if you like. You can use water for that matter. I chose lavender oil. Other good choices would be frankincense, myrrh, clove. There's, and if you have any good ideas, go ahead and share. Lavender for me is sort of my all-purpose healer, to be honest with you. And what I did was I just took a little bit of oil, and there's a couple of ways to do this. Some people say that if you're doing building or creating work, you're going to start at the bottom of the candle and rub the oil up. Some people say you'll always start in the middle, rub up in one direction and down in one direction. However you like to do it, it's perfectly okay. If you have oil and you're working with a tea light or a jar candle, you can just pour a little oil into the candle well, if you like. And so I will give you a few moments to get your cards together, to get your candle prepared in whatever other way you like. And while you're doing that, I will do a little bit of shameless self-promotion. Just to fill the time. I was in radio for a long time, and I know you're not supposed to leave dead air. Let me, for those people who are just joining us, I appreciate your coming in. We really appreciate your energy here. I want to remind you, whether or not you have cards and candle, just to put your energy into this is a great thing. And if you're watching an archive, do this along with us. So, Thursday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, I am doing a class on Zoom called Finding Meaning in the Minor Arcana. Whether you are a beginner reader or an advanced reader, you'll find meaning in this class. I'd love to have you join us. You can find information about that right here on my Facebook page, Christiana Gaudet, or on my website by the same name, Christiana Gaudet. I also want to let you know, if you enjoy the candle work, I do have a video class on Teachable on candle magic, and I will go ahead and post the link for it on my business page when we are finished here. So that was just a little bit of self-promotion, just to give you time, so we didn't have dead air, to give you time to get your cards and your candle together. And again, if you don't have cards or candle here, that is perfectly okay. When we do this kind of work, the most important thing is breathing. It's breathing and visualizing. Now, before we start, I want you to take your candle and I want you to breathe. Betty, I put a few rose quartz chips in my candle also. What a good idea. Thank you so much. And yes, candles, crystals. You can see I've got my crystal table behind me right here. Candles, crystals, photographs, anything that you want here to help raise the energy is a good thing. The total number of cards you should have. Gee, I should know that right off the bat. Let's see. 4 and 4 is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I didn't plan it that way, but it looks like it's an even 20, unless I counted wrong. If I counted wrong, someone tell me. So that's cool. All right. So you're also going to need something to light the candle. So really traditional people would say wooden matches only. I have the sacred lighter. Let me make sure the sacred lighter works. Yes, it does. Okay, you're also going to need a candlestick or something to put your candle in. Okay, right. Celine also has her crystals. Yeah, absolutely. Whatever you like. Whatever feels good. Janet has wooden matches. Very good, very good. So I have a candlestick that I particularly like, and I'm putting it on this slice of agate for grounding, but also to catch some of the wax, so maybe the wax won't fall on my pretty altar cloth. If it does, oh well, you got to live with a little bit of that. Okay. And Tasha has a sacred lighter as well. Absolutely. You got to do what you got to do. Jana, I'm using Bulgarian rose essential oil for your candle. Rose for love. Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. If anyone else wants to chat in what they're using, this is wonderful. Whatever feels good to you, whatever you happen to have at home while you're sheltering at home, whatever you have, whatever feels good is just the right thing. I also have the sacred tea here, English breakfast. Joanne has 22. Okay, very good. Janet, love and compassion. Yeah, absolutely. And healing. I think there's also some healing with rose as well. Maya's using patchouli. Very good choice. Patchouli incense and a rainbow lighter. Very good. Very good. Okay. Celine has amethyst. Very good. Karen Reinhardt. Goddess Breed. Yes, my patroness right there. For healing of hearth and home for all. That's beautiful. Very well done. Very well done. Now, another thing, if you happen to know the 4 cardinal directions from where you sit, you can always ask your phone for your compass. It's not necessary, but I will be using the 4 directions here. You can do so or not as you see fit. Tasha, a vanilla candle for calm, and it's white, very good. And a red rose heart candle for love and healing. Perfect. Very well done. Very good. Very good. I love it when we can meet together in person to do this kind of work. But I have to say, it's really kind of cool. I can feel the energy, and we're doing this for the healing of the world, and we are literally all over the world right now. Maya is using a healing candle that she herself made. Oh, that is so very good. Excellent. And Carol has rose quartz for love. Very good, very good. So let's get started. Before we officially open the circle, I want you to start by breathing. I want you to take your candle, and if you don't have a candle, if you have your stone or simply your energy, and I want you to focus on breathing, to breathe as deeply as you can. And Betty says we're together in spirit. Yes, we certainly are, aren't we? And even with those watching in archive and doing this after we have done it, this energy goes out throughout the world. So let's start to turn your attention to your breath, to breathe as deeply and fully as you can. And as you breathe in the energy of hope and healing. As you exhale anxiety and worry and fear. Breathe in the sacred energy that we are creating. Breathe out your mundane rules. Joanne says she's got 21, which would be really cool. I did say to include the Hermit. If the Hermit was not included originally, and that makes 21, very good. And if we don't all have exactly all the cards, it'll all work. It'll be fine. Okay, so focus on your breathing. And now turn your attention to your root chakra at the very base of your spine. Breathing in there, feeling your connection to the earth, feeling your sense of survivorship. The root chakra is really all about survival. It's about our connection to earth. It's about getting our base needs met. And right now there's a lot of concern about whether we will be able to have our basic needs met. So breathe into the root chakra and breathe in with the awareness and the intention that we will have what we need for ourselves and for our families. And then send energy from the root into your legs, into your feet, all the way down into the earth, connecting with the earth, feeling grounded and sustained by the earth. Bring energy up from the earth into the legs, the feet, back into the root chakra, and then all the way up your spine to the crown. From the crown, send energy up, all the way up, into heaven, connecting with your angels, your deities, your higher power, your ancestors, feeling yourself now connected to earth and to heaven. And now send that energy in a clockwise direction all around the earth, connecting with all the people who are doing this work together and all the people everywhere in need of healing. Now turn your attention to your candle, or if you're holding a stone, to your stone, or simply to your heart. And at this time, put the energy of healing, of protection, of science, of solutions into your candle. You can breathe your energy on it. You can hold it to your heart. And in your mind's eye, visualize, not as a wish, but as a clear vision, a time when this crisis is behind us, when we are eating in restaurants, holding weddings, sporting events, enjoying each other's company in person, when life is back to normal, but better than it was, maybe living in a more sustainable way, living in a way that is kinder to the planet. We don't want to go back from this, we want to go forward. Hold that vision, and hold a vision more immediately for the safety and protection of our medical community, of our essential workers, our grocery workers, our truckers, our people working to make sure that we will indeed have what we need during this crisis and after. Hold our world leaders in your hearts, even the ones you don't like, asking for their wisdom, asking for them to be guided toward the best solutions. Okay, now, thank you for doing that with me. Put your candle down, and at this time, I would like you to pick up your 4 queens. At this time, we will invoke the 4 elements, asking them to come in and bring nurturance to us. We'll start with the Queen of Swords, and if you don't have cards with you, just focus on mine. I'm using my big cards so you can see them. We call on the element of air, guardians of the East. We ask you to nurture within us intelligence, clear thought, the advancement of science, good communication, and appropriate technology as we work through this crisis. And as you can see, I'm putting my Queen of Swords down in the eastern corner of my altar. You can do the same or do otherwise as you see fit. So now we're going to move to the south with the Queen of Wands. Element of fire, guardians of the south. Please nurture within us our humor in difficult times, our inspiration, our life force energy, our ability to heal ourselves and others, our ability to stay connected with spirit, our ability to follow our passions even in difficult times, the inspiration to heal, and the life force to be stronger than this virus. And I'm placing my Queen of Wands in the south corner. Now we're going to move to the west with the Queen of Cups. Element of water and guardians of the west, we call on you to nurture within us our hearts, to help us be more loving, more compassionate, even when things are difficult, to help us bring the healing energy of love to ourselves, our homes, our families, those who are distant, those who are working to solve this crisis. Even when we run low on patience, may we never run low on love. And I'm placing the Queen of Cups in the western corner. Finally, the Queen of Pentacles. Elements of earth, guardians of the north. Please help us nurture our health, our homes, our families, and our resources. At this time, we are so concerned for our whole planet, for the well-being of our planet, for the well-being of the people upon it. Please help us bring nurturance everywhere that it is needed. Please protect those who are on the front lines of this crisis. Please help us heal, and please help us maintain now and in the future, the resources that we need. And I'm placing the Queen of Pentacles in the northern corner. Now, Emperor and Empress, at this time, I ask you, either silently or aloud, to call to your higher power, whatever you conceive higher power to be, however you nurture higher power in your life, to welcome your higher power to this work. Now, with the Ten of Pentacles, and I've put the Emperor and the Empress sort of to the side, but in the middle of my altar. Now the Ten of Pentacles, I ask you to call on your ancestors, your loved ones in spirit, even those who have gone before that we did not know, those who suffered during the Spanish flu, the last big, here in the United States, the last big epidemic. But maybe you have ancestors in other places who have suffered through other things. We call on their strength now to lead us, to guide us, and to teach us. Our temple is now erect. Our circle is now cast. We are ready to do the work that we came here to do. And let us turn our attentions again to the Empress, asking for the healing of Mother Earth and all who reside within her, humans, animals, and plants. And to the Emperor represents our politicians, our leaders. We ask a blessing upon all of them, that they may be able to work together, that they may be able to find in their hearts and in their minds the right thing to do to lead us through this. Now, the World card. Let us turn our attention to the entire planet and set the intention that the work we're doing here is not just for our home, our neighborhood, our city, our county, our state, or our country, but for the entire planet. As we are saying, we are all in this together. And may we use this to heal global divides. May we use this to bring us together as one human family, healed going forward, better than before. So mote it be. Now, with the Two of Cups, let us ask to heal the divisions between us, the divisions between our politicians, and let us ask for a special protection for those who are on the front lines of this, for those who are working to heal and help us. So mote it be. The Hermit and the Nine of Pentacles. We have some people in our neighborhood who are putting signs on their doors saying, "We are not socially distancing, it's un-American." Let us ask for the wisdom for all to do the social distancing because it's what we need to do right now. Let us ask for patience during this time. Let us ask that all will have what they need during this time, that we will feel together even when we are alone, that we will cope patiently with this difficult time, with wisdom, with patience, and with security. So mote it be. Now I'm going to pick up Temperance for solutions, the Six of Swords for science, the Knight of Swords for science, technology, and swiftness, and the Eight of Wands for swiftness. We hold our attention for a swift solution to our issue, that we may move forward swiftly, that we may have the science, the technology, and the communication to hold together through this time, and that this time may pass swiftly. So mote it be. And finally, the Six of Pentacles, that our world economies may recover, that we may all be able to give of ourselves in the way that we can, that we may all receive what we need, that we may get through this, that we may all have the ability to give and receive, to have what we need. So mote it be. Now, and as you can see, I've just kind of placed these cards down, and while I burn my candle, I'm going to leave them down. If you can leave your cards out for the rest of the day, that's great. If you can't, that's okay. When you're ready, you can just take them and shuffle them back into your deck. So now, I'm going to take and put my candlestick right here in the center. And the question is, will my candle stand up in my candlestick? It will, hallelujah. If not, you know the trick. You can always take the lighter to the bottom to make sure it will. So I want you all to get ready to light your candle. I'd like us all, those of us who are doing this live, I would like us all to be able to do it pretty much at the same time if we can. And if you're watching this in archive, try to do it with me. Try to do it at the same time that I'm doing it. You ready? Let me move over a little bit. Okay, here we go. As we bring light to this candle, we bring light to the world. As we bring light to this candle, we bring energy, healing, protection, and a vision for swift solutions to the planet during this time of crisis. We bring healing and comfort to all who need it, and a vision of a much better tomorrow. So mote it be. As the flame burns, we focus on that flame. As the flame grows, so does our energy. So does the protection that we place on all who need it. As the flame grows, so does the healing energy spread across across our families, across our nations, in the hospitals, on the highways, all through the planet. Let this light grow and spread this energy everywhere that it is needed. So mote it be. Now the candle will continue to burn as we close our circle. And again, if you can allow the candle to burn all the way down in one sitting, please do. When it has burned, you may have another prayer that you want to say before you shuffle your cards back into their deck. If you must extinguish your candle, that's fine. When you relight it, welcome that energy back. Now it's time for the Four Kings. This is about leadership. It's about sending energy to our leaders and asking each one of us to be the leader that we need to be. King of Swords. Hail, spirits of air. Thank you for your attendance here today. Return now to the watchtower of the East, but leave with us wise leadership, strong science, reason, technology, good communication, the ability to solve the problems we must solve. Hail and farewell. King of Wands. Spirits of fire, thank you for your presence here. Return now to your watchtower in the south, but leave with us your inspiration, your humor, your passion, and your life force that will allow us to rise up like a flame, like the very flame in front of us, to change this situation, to heal this situation, and move on to a better world. Hail, thank you, and farewell. Now the West. Spirits of water, guardians of the West, thank you for being here with us. Return now to your Western watchtower, but leave with us the healed heart, the open heart, the ability to be compassionate to all, the ability to forgive, the ability to heal with love. Hail, thank you, farewell. And finally, our final card today, the King of Pentacles. Hail, spirits of earth, guardians of the watchtower of the north. Thank you for being here with us today. Return now to your watchtower, but leave with us your strength, your steadfastness, the healing of body, mind, and spirit, the access to resources that we will need now and in the future, and the healing of our beautiful planet and the people upon it. Hail, thank you, and farewell. I want to thank you all for spending this time, for being here. Again, if you're watching an archive, thanks for being here. If this is part of your tradition or similar to your tradition, thank you for sharing this. If this was new to you, I hope you enjoyed this particular way of working. All over our world, we have people doing whatever they do, whatever their tradition is. I really believe that however we believe, whatever sacred text we work with, it's all one, isn't it? And however we see that one, we are all putting our energies in the same direction for the healing that we so desperately need at this time. I want to thank you all so much for being here. I will look forward to seeing you again. I'm not going to end with any shameless self-promotion because I really want to stay in this spiritual energy. Betty says, thank you for doing this. Thank you for the idea, Betty. Thank you so much. I'll look forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you.